Hey guys, Tyler here from the Drunk Nerds. I'm here to give a little special thing here with I got a review code here for Antro. It's a review code I got from Keymailer and the publisher themselves, so thank you for that. So just want to let you know I did not pay for this game; it was provided for me. The code was I played it on the Xbox Series X. In case you're curious, I believe it is on everything. I know it's at least on PlayStation and Steam. It might be on Switch, but like I said, I got a review code for this one. Played through. It took me about hour and a half to play through this. It is there's some gameplay we got going on in the background here, but it took me about an hour and a half, like I said, to finish this up. It's very, I would say, Playdead style, or like if you played like Planet of Lana style, where 2D side scroller, but more based off of like this one not so much puzzle based, but more like timing and platforming, but very much in that realm of like if you like a Limbo or something like that, like this is maybe something you're gonna like. Um, One thing I thought was really well done was but I should back up a little bit here. So the main crux of the game is I believe it's like 100 years after something happened on the surface of the Earth and everybody's underground. It's been like 100 years, and you play as this character who is um, being chased by like the guards of the who's ever running this place, um, and you eventually learn overall over time like why you're being chased by these people, but I'm not gonna really spoil it. Like it's very not a lot of story content here, or not that it's very important. It's not like a very deep story, but kind of the general idea is like you're running with them. You can see these guards and stuff. You gotta like kind of time it to get around them. Which this isn't like most of it is like this. Like yeah, you're trying to jump and get away from. You can do like a slide when you're running. You can slide. You have a jump and stuff like that. There are certain points where maybe you crouch, but it's usually like automatically done for you as far as that goes. But it's mostly just trying to avoid security here and then platforming. Some of the best parts of this game really is like there's a handful of like kind of like chase sequences, like you would if you play like a Metroidvania style game. Like they have these chase sequences, but like it's a kind of like it turns to like an auto runner, but you have to like they play this like really great music and it's like in I think Spanish. I want to say like I said like I think this is like actually like a team from Salvador, and there's like little things you can find here. Like he spray paints his name um, throughout the game, and there's also like little like collectibles you can find that give you more background about like what's going on with the world and the story and everything. But um, anyways, like some of the best parts I think of this game is like I think the music is really cool. And like I said, it's like I think it's like I think it's Spanish. I'm sorry, I'm ignorant to that. But I thought it was really cool music, and like it auto runs for you in these sequences. But like you gotta like jump, or you gotta like you can like you have like you pick up like a 2x4 eventually, and you can like hit guards and stuff like that, and you can jump. You gotta like slide, and it's all to like a beat, and you gotta make through the beat. And like here's like I think this is one of the parts here where you end up getting chased by people. And it's I thought this was like a really cool like fun game that I was playing through. I really enjoyed like the first like 45 minutes or so of the game. Like I think you could probably beat this game in about an hour. I think the last like probably 20 minutes of the game took me about as long as the first like I think I spent probably 45 50 minutes trying to get through the last half. And like the first half was like I said 45 minutes, and then the back half is um 45. Sorry, it took me to 45. It just like it got to the point where like I would say I was like, man, this is like an awesome game. Like I'm thinking like eight, like I'm not. We don't usually do review scores, but like kind of a rough idea is I would give it like a. I was probably thinking like, okay, this is like a 8.5, 9 out of 10. Like this is like maybe not in the par of like a Limbo or something like that. Like I think those games are like kind of one of one. But like this is like a really good one of those style games. And there's some wall running you can do eventually too. Um, but what got very frustrating was some of the checkpointing in like some in these games is like baffling. Like there are parts where like it drops you like right where you like if you miss the jump and you fall and you die, or maybe you miss something like you got to restart. It will sometimes like it will just drop you like right there, and then there are some parts where like it will drop you like a full like 45 seconds to a minute back, which doesn't sound like a lot, but when it's like when you just keep failing this one sequence over and over and over again, and you just want to get right back there. Which I mean, like I don't mind those in games, like when you're failing over and over again, like like, but like the part is like how snappy you can get back in the situation. It's like, all right, I just want like I can get to this whole section here, no problem, but I want to be able to, like I can't get through the freaking I'm failing this one jump. I just can't get the timing right on this one section, and it just sucks me. I have to like do this whole part over again. And that was like some of the parts where like, yeah, like there'd be like one little thing I would just keep messing up, but I just couldn't get the timing right on it. Especially in those the music sections, like I was talking about, where like doing things with the beat. Like sometimes in those the checkpoint was fantastic, and sometimes, like I said, like you're doing this whole section of the song over again, and it was just like, oh my god, like I failed this section like 8 times in a row, and I'm just getting angry now because I just want to get past this. And it's like I can do all this stuff, no problem. I just want to get through this one jump. And like I said though, like sometimes I would say honestly, most times, like if you did fail the section, it would just like drop you, like like I said, it would drop you like boom right there. But it was just a handful of times. My dog is sitting on my cord for my microphone. Sorry. It would just drop. It would like I said, it would just drop you like right there. Or next time it would just drop you like I said, a whole 45 seconds to a minute back. And then like there was like the last 2 sections of the game where like the second to last is like it wasn't very hard to get through, but it was more of the same issue like I was talking about, like where like the timing is just a little off. But like I was getting frustrated with like the platforms, like, and this one, like the platforms will go up and down, and it's also to the beat, but it's not a chase sequence, but there is like musical parts to it. And like I've openly admitted I'm not the best at like rhythm platforming necessarily, but like I can get it down eventually. And I was getting very frustrated with like there's points where like I feel like I was timing it right, and like the platform would be coming up, and my character would just go through it. Like it was like I was just like a millisecond too early, where like like the platform comes up, but like I just go right through it. So there's parts there where like that was very frustrating. Where I'm like, okay, like it's like I get it. Like I was probably a tenth of a second or so too early, but it was like my character physically went through the platform, and that was very frustrating. And then I finally I made it through, and it wasn't like these sections were very hard. It's probably like a 2-minute long section, and I'd get through it in like 5 maybe. But like there was one point I finally made it to that second to last section, and then my Xbox crashed on me. The game crashed on me, and I'm like, not the Xbox, the game itself crashed. And I'm like, okay, so I actually had to close out of the game. Like the Xbox didn't crash, just the game, and it took me back to the main menu, the dashboard of my Xbox. Go back in. I'm like, all right, hopefully, because like I was like in between the second to last and the last section, and then it crashed. I go back in. I'm like, hopefully it triggered like some sort of like checkpoint or something. It didn't. I had to go through that whole section again. I'm like, oh, okay, so just a little annoying. Like I said, like I got through it, and like I was able to get through it in a couple minutes, no problem. Like a few minutes there, I died a handful of more times, but like I got through it. And then I get to the last section, and it is a chase sequence again. And like whatever, it was fine. Like it was difficult, but it wasn't like it was a fun difficult. But like once again, still some really bad checkpoints in that section. And then there was one of the sections I jumped. I had to make a jump, and my character just went like I wasn't gonna make the jump. Like my character, like I mistimed it, and I was gonna die. But instead of like me falling to my death, my character just went through the platform, like he just kind of came at an angle and like went through the side of the platform, and instead of dying, my character just kept falling, and I just never died. So I had to turn it off, restart it, and then it took me back to the second to last section again. So I go through that whole section again, and I started up, go through it, and I get through this whole section. I'm going through the very last part, musical part again, and same thing happens where I jump. I was going to miss the jump. I was going to die. But this time it was a different jump. I think it was like the jump before, the jump after, but it was like the same area. And I went through it again. But luckily this time, my character, I was able to like do something. I don't know how, but I was eventually able to. I'm like, I do not want to go through that. I looked it up. I'm like, how much more time do I have? And I looked it up. I had like literally like this last section of the game that I probably spent 30-40 minutes on. I was probably the last 10 minutes of the game, but I got to keep going through. I went to that second to last section, I think 4 times. And I did this. I had to do this last section, basically the first half of the last section, like 3 different times because of this happening. And I was able to it was able to like kill the character. So I was able to start over again, and then I had to go through that whole section again. Finally made it through. I get to the very end, about to start the last cutscene. Game crashes on me again. So then I had to start it over. Luckily this time I didn't have to go to the full, like the second to last section. I just had to do the whole last section again, which once again, very annoying. But I made it through, beat the game. I would say overall, like it is a fun game. Hopefully, I don't know if it is like I just had bad luck. Because like I said, like the first like 45 minutes of the game, like basically the first like 80% of the game, I was actually really enjoying it, barring some like checkpointing issues and frustration. But then there's that last section of like really got stuck, multiple crashes, multiple bugs, right at the very end. Like that, like I said, that last 10 minutes probably took me longer, probably took me just as long to beat the rest of the game. Um, but I don't know. Overall, I'd say like it's still a good game. Like I would like I was like I was saying like that first like 45 minutes and barring the checkpointing thing was like my one issue with the game. Everything else I thought was like really well done, like 8.5, 9 out of 10. It was just that last section because I kept running into crashes and bugs that I would bring it down to like it's like I don't know, like a 7.5. Like it's very minimalist. Like you can even look at like these characters, like they don't have there's no faces on them or anything like that. There's no like there is some audio, like there actually is talking in the game through like that kind of explains like there like you'll run into sections where like you can hear someone like talking like on TVs and stuff like that. And there is music that they're singing, but it's all in Spanish. The voice acting though is in English. But like I still think it's a cool game, and I believe this was the first game this team has made. And I would say it's definitely worth checking out. I believe it is like $15. And it was a game I was gonna buy anyways. Like I had it on my wish list. I was like, I'm gonna buy this when I have like some free time. I was going to wait for like a Steam sale of some sort. But then I ended up was able to I put in for a code. I got the code, and like I'm not giving a better score and trying to be nice because I got the code. I got the game for free. Like this is honestly how I feel. And like overall, like I still enjoyed the game. It was just like that. Like I said, that last section really hurt it for me. And like maybe it was like I said, like maybe it was just I just got unlucky with I've been in that case before where like I run into a bunch of issues and then somebody else to talk to ran to none or vice versa. So I don't know. Overall, like I'd say like it's like a 7. I'd say 7.5. I'll be nice. I'll say 7.5. But overall, like I'd say a good game. But if you're looking for like something like like if you're someone that like wants those Play Dead style games or something closer to like a Play Dead or something like a like a Planet of Lana type of thing, like doesn't have like the puzzles of those games, but like overall a lot of it like you still kind of feel like a lot of like the stuff is there for this game. And like I think it's a well made game. It's just I don't know, like I said, this game's only been out for a little bit of time. Hopefully it's a small team. Hopefully they have a couple patches. Maybe it's just an Xbox issue. Maybe it's only on there. But yeah, overall, I still recommend this game as a buy. Maybe like this isn't like a run out buy, but I'd say if you see it on a sale or like you're looking for like a game to play and like you can knock it out in one sitting, like you don't want to jump into a huge time investment, this is a good game for you. But yeah, anyways, the game is called Antro. Like I said, I really enjoyed it. If you guys like this, let me know. Let me know what you think. Please like, follow, subscribe. Everything like that. We're two friends. Gables and I get together every Saturday night, record podcasts and talk about everything we love about them. So I was Tyler. This game is Antro. Hope you guys enjoyed this review. Let me know what you think of it. And I'll talk to you guys next time.